Herron back. It is the Super Thursday show. We're looking at clear skies, 63 degrees at the dock. And Louie, we're talking about perceptions and both sides. I mean, the salesperson's eyeing up the customer, and the customer's making.
Well, let me tell you the dynamics that are going on that most consumers may not even realize this, but you have to understand. Well, you don't have to. I would like you to understand that a salesperson will sit at a car lot for 60 hours, and for every 10 customers he greets, if he's good, 2 deals will happen. 8 will go home. So the majority of his time is being spent being rejected. Okay? So when we wonder, man, that guy had a bad attitude. Man, that guy, he didn't even seem like he was interested. Man, that guy, well, let me explain to you. It takes a special human being to train the brain to get rid of the stinking thinking. I mean, when you have beat down after beat down after beat down after beat down, one of the key components of a phenomenal sales representative in the United States of America selling any product on earth has to do with resiliency. You have to have, and if you look at being resilient, what that means is you have to have the ability to be bent, stretched, torn, and bounce back. In other words, I was just rejected by Miss Smith. Here comes Mr. Johnson. Hey, welcome to Louie Herron Toyota. My name is, and yours. What can I get you information on today? With a phenomenal attitude, a smile on your face, ready to go to serve.
I never thought about it.
It happens all the time, and so what you have to realize, and I explain to the sales representatives is, guys, gals, you cannot excel in life at the expense of others. You excel at life at the service of others, okay? And the philosophy and the attitudes and the disciplines that you have as a person is what's going to dictate your success or results, period. So what philosophy do you have about what you're doing in your life as an automotive sales representative? What's your philosophy about customers? Do you think they all don't buy? Do you think they all will lie? Do you think that no one wants to buy from you? Because that is what's going on in the mind of a sales rep. We always talk about whether it's relationships or whether it's, personal or relationship with your boss or a workplace. And we always, you get that theory where you're like, man, this place is changing around here, right? If we're really honest, we're doing the changing. The place ain't doing anything different, okay? The place is the same. The problem is always with us. I've got the problem. Louie, it's me. I'm the one that's at fault, right? Yeah. And so self-awareness is a very difficult thing for a sales rep. I think it's probably tough for everybody, actually. Yeah. But the point is simply this. I'm rambling. The point is simply this. When a guest pulls up on the lot, there's so many things going on in a sales representative's mind, and most of it is negative. Most of it has been they haven't sold a car in 4 days. They're trying to feed their family. And whether you don't realize this or not, the car market is so competitive. People like me are giving information on how you can get a great deal. If you don't listen to me, there's websites out there on how to get a great deal. Well, guess what? A great deal for a consumer translates to a small commission for a salesperson. Now, we could get into maybe a show talking about how a salesperson is compensated to blow your mind. But if I told you that a sales guy more times than not get what's called a minimum commission. A minimum commission is $100. So if you sell 20 cars a month and all of them were minimum commissions, you made $2,000. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, $24,000 a year for some may be, hey, something to pay the bills, but when you're working 60 hours a week for $24,000, I mean, I waited tables at Chili's and I can make 35. Yeah. Right? So now can a sales representative do very well? Absolutely, they can do very well. If they're diligent, okay? Yeah. If they plant the seeds they're supposed to plant, they'll reap the harvest, and they do all the little things that make big differences, absolutely, they can become special. However, most people have to be really, really trained and really want it, right? They want to succeed as bad as they want to breathe, and that's just a characteristic that sometimes, they get when they're a puppy. You can't really get it when they get grown up,
So when I tell the salesperson, hey, I'll be back next week, and I really mean that. Right. It's like,
oh, he knows you're not. He doesn't believe it.
Well, he's acting like he doesn't believe me.
No, and he doesn't believe me. Let me tell you why. You don't know this, Chip, but I'm going to tell you, and those that are listening right now, we keep statistical data for everything. And if you know Louie, I'm an analytical freak when it comes to the car business. Everything to be tracked, I track. And 33% of every customer that says they're coming back actually return. 67% never come back. So 6 out of 10 times the customer says that they're coming back and they never show. And what makes matters worse is when you follow up with those 6 customers that said they were coming back, 3 of the 6 or 50% of those buy elsewhere. I see. So here we go again. We're back to the training of the brain, right? So what are they conditioned to hear? Yeah. So now all of a sudden this sets up a defense mechanism for the sales rep. So all these things play into, and this is what I work hard, and I hope every dealer works hard in their store, dispel all this stuff, man. Forget all that stuff. If you're committed to serve, if you're committed to be in the game, get off the sidelines and start getting after it and doing the things you need to do and have the customer first. Customers will feel that. Their BS radar is really, really high. Okay? Customers can smell it. There's nothing you can do to try to fake it. They can smell it. So if you really mean it, they really know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's such a key thing. Before we go to a break, let me just talk about this greeting thing real quick, and the benefits that are so important is if a consumer gets a positive greeting, okay, and a salesperson does his job in relaying to the customer, he understands what they're feeling, everybody's able to move forward in the deal. Here's what I mean, and we'll go to a break. If John Doe walks up to the lot and I greet them and say, welcome to Louie Herron Toyota, what can I get you information on today? And the standard answer 90% of the time is, we're just looking. Great, that's where it all begins. Thank you so much for choosing us to look. By the way, if you're like most of the customers, most people don't buy on the first visit. They normally take a week or so to gather their information, get on the internet, check with CPAs, and do those things. We want you to do that, okay? While we're here, if you'd allow me to, you identify how much time you think would be fair. While you're here, I'd like to get you any information on pricing, interest rates, numbers, figures, trade evaluations to take home with you. That way, when you get home, you can make a well-informed decision. Fair enough?
Yep.
Now, that greeting just told the customer, I understand you're not buying today, and it's okay. Don't worry about getting wrestled in here, and tied down with all four legs together and someone coming to beat you up. By the way, most dealerships don't give figures and interest rates and payments unless you're buying today. We freely want to do that for you. So please take that. And we also know that you're not going to make an impulsive decision. You're probably going to take the time to go get with your uncle or your dad or a CPA to confirm and make sure what you're doing makes sense. That, to me, is a sincere, heartfelt, I know where you're coming from. All I'd like to do is put the defenses down. Let's just get you what you came for, make the experience right, because I'm banking that if you go down the street, they're not going to greet you that way. They're going to try to hog tie you down and get you in the showroom floor. They're going to try to beat you up, and they're not going to give you any figures on your car. That's what I'm banking on. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm hoping that when you say that you're coming back, that doesn't mean you're not going to shop anywhere, because you are going to do that, and we should be okay with that. You sit home at the kitchen counter, at the kitchen table with the wife and the husband, and you don't say, "Hi, honey, let's go back to the store that gave us nothing." That's not what happens. Let's go back to the store that actually treated us like human beings and really wanted to earn our business and was truthful up front and didn't try to, just kill us while we were there. Yeah. So that's the power greeting. That's where, I would love to see in a customer to be receptive of that, understanding, hey, this is what's going to happen, and a customer saying, I would love to get all that information, but I'm so scared if I do, you're going to corner me. That's what I want to get rid of. Forget all that. Let's get it and take it home. It's not a big deal. Gotcha. 8 out of 10 go home. 2 actually buy. We realize that the statistics are not in our favor. We know you're going to go home and it's okay.
Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha. All right. We'd love to hear your what's happened to you at a car dealership. Has it been a good experience, bad experience? Did they hog tie you? Did they give you the information you were looking for the first time around? You can call us. Let us know. 706-453-4140. or star 1039 on your AT&T wireless phone. All right, we've got news headlines. We'll update the beautiful midweek forecast and more of your favorites next on the dock. It's 3:50.